In today's world, most men don't understand women, not deeply. They either pedestalize them or resent them. Both are forms of weakness, and both leave you powerless. But what if I told you that true power doesn't come from control over someone, but control within yourself? That's what the Stoics taught. Not domination, not emotional manipulation, but inner mastery so solid, it naturally makes others respect and even submit to your strength. Let's contrast this with what happens to most men. They chase, they overthink, they emotionally collapse when a woman pulls away. They break their own principles just to please her, and slowly she loses interest. Why? Because women, whether they admit it or not, are deeply drawn to masculine self-possession. They crave the man who understands her impulses better than she understands herself. That man doesn't chase, he leads. That man doesn't talk much, he moves with certainty. And most of all, that man knows her weaknesses, not to exploit, but to stand firm where she wavers. The truth is, women are not mysterious. They're emotional, they're intuitive, they want to feel secure. And those desires come with specific patterns of behavior, weak spots, that only a man who has cultivated Stoic control can truly recognize and navigate. The Stoics weren't pickup artists. They were warriors of the mind. They saw emotions as waves, powerful but temporary. They believed in understanding human nature, not judging it. And that's exactly what we'll do today. We're going to dive into 6 feminine weaknesses, not to blame women, but to awaken your ability to respond with power, presence, and patience. Each one of these truths will expose a part of female psychology that most men ignore or react to emotionally, but not you. After this video, you'll walk away with insights so sharp, you'll stop overreacting, stop overgiving, and start leading from a position of grounded masculine energy. Because when you master her weaknesses, you don't just gain control of the dynamic, you gain control of yourself, and that's where real power begins. So, if you're tired of the confusion, if you're tired of constantly feeling like you're the one who has to prove your worth, and if you're ready to reclaim your strength as a man who leads with logic, not desperation, this is your moment. In this video, we're not playing emotional games. We're building a fortress of insight, and I want you to step into that with full presence. Let's make a deal right now. You commit to watching the entire video without skipping, because every part of this will build you. Also, if you find value in this message, and I know you will, then don't forget to like the video, comment your favorite lesson, share it with a brother who needs it, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. We're building a brotherhood of Stoic warriors here, and I want you to be part of it. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1. She seeks chaos to test your calm. One of the most misunderstood patterns in female behavior is this. She will often create emotional storms, just to see if you can remain calm within them. It sounds unfair, it feels confusing, but it's real. Many women are not even consciously aware of this, but biologically, emotionally, and psychologically, women test the men they're drawn to. This test isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. She'll cancel plans last minute. She'll go cold in the middle of a good conversation. She'll bring up an issue that doesn't even make sense. Why? Because deep inside she's asking, can this man handle my emotions without falling apart? She wants to feel that you are the container and she is the storm. If you react emotionally, you fail the test. If you remain grounded, she sees you as someone she can trust. This is exactly where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics trained themselves not to be cold, but to be unshakable. They knew that emotional chaos is not something to run from, but to rise above. Epictetus said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If she senses you are ruled by her emotional state, you lose her respect. But if she sees you hold your ground with grace and calm, she becomes more attracted to you. Your job is not to fix her emotions. Your job is to remain solid like a mountain while the weather changes around you. So next time she picks a fight, stays silent, or acts in ways that tempt your temper, remember, she's not looking for you to match her chaos. She's hoping you'll show her calm. Number 2, she needs attention, even when she pretends she doesn't. Here's a truth many men learn the hard way. Women crave attention, not always in loud, obvious ways, but in subtle, consistent doses. She may say, "I'm fine." She may say, "Do what you want." But underneath that, there's often a quiet hunger for reassurance, emotional presence, and validation. This doesn't make her weak. It makes her human. And if you're unaware of this hidden emotional need, you'll either neglect it or smother it. The Stoic power lies in balance. You don't ignore her completely. You also don't pour out attention like a desperate man trying to prove his worth. Instead, you observe, you pace, you lead. Women respect a man who gives attention like a reward, not a plea. She must feel that your focus is a gift, not a given. So here's the key. When she pretends, she doesn't care whether you text or not. She usually does. When she gives you the cold shoulder, she's often watching if you'll pursue with desperation or pause with patience. Control the frame. Let your attention be something you choose to give, not something she commands. And when you do give it, do it with presence. No distractions, no half-listening. You don't need to chase her across platforms, send essays, or compliment her endlessly. You need to master the art of subtle attention. A well-timed compliment. A quick check-in, not every hour, but just when she wonders if you forgot. A look that says, "I see you, but I don't revolve around you." The Stoics believed in measured responses. And this applies perfectly here. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Give her attention without making it your prison. Too many men fall into one of two extremes. 1, they give too little and she feels invisible. 2, they give too much and she loses respect. Both are weakness, but when you give attention from a place of strength, like a king stepping down from his throne for a moment, that's when she feels seen and respects you for it. Number 3, her words aren't always her truth. If you listen to a woman's words without reading her emotions, you'll always be confused. Women communicate in layers, and more often than not, her words are driven by her current emotions, not her permanent truth. She might say, "I hate you," when she's hurting. "Leave me alone," when she wants you to try again. "I don't care," when she deeply does. Now, that doesn't mean you should accept toxic behavior or disrespect. But it does mean you need to discern her emotional state before reacting like a wounded boy. Here's where the Stoic mindset gives you an edge. The Stoics didn't take offense easily. They saw emotions, both theirs and others, as weather systems. They change, they pass, and they aren't always rational. So when she lashes out, acts cold, or says something wild, pause. Ask yourself, is this about me? Or is she battling something within herself? The mistake most men make is reacting immediately, arguing, defending, matching her intensity. But when you do that, you lose frame. Instead, learn to watch her tone, her body language, her timing. Look beneath the words. When you understand that her truth isn't always in her sentences, you become harder to manipulate and much harder to rattle. This doesn't mean you excuse disrespect. It means you respond, not react. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing, just hold eye contact and breathe. Let her feel the weight of your silence. Let her recalibrate without having to win a war with you. This is Stoicism in action, embodying stillness, emotional maturity, and clarity, even when provoked. It's what makes a man magnetic. Because when you become the kind of man who doesn't need words to understand, she starts speaking to you with more honesty, because she knows she can't control you with drama. Number 4, her insecurity makes her project power. Let's break another illusion. The loudest, boldest, most confident acting women are often the most insecure inside. Yes, she might walk like a queen, talk like a boss, and post like she owns the world. But behind that image is often a quiet, desperate question: am I enough? In modern times, women are told to be powerful, to chase careers, lead with dominance, and never show vulnerability. So what happens? Many hide their insecurity behind fake strength, sharp words, and emotional walls. As a man, if you don't see through this, you'll either be intimidated and retreat, triggered and attack, or seduced into trying to win her over. But the Stoic approach is different. You see through the noise. You know that true strength doesn't need to shout, and you understand that the woman who tries too hard to be powerful is often just protecting a wounded heart. That doesn't mean you baby her. It means you don't get caught in the illusion. Stoicism teaches us to look past appearances, to respond only to what's real. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." When she projects superiority, don't try to match it. Stay grounded. Let her talk. Let her posture. Let her perform. Then, calmly lead. Ask better questions. Set your boundaries. Be the frame. When she feels your calm confidence, her act starts to melt. Why? Because deep inside, what she's really looking for is a man who doesn't need to overpower her, but also doesn't let her overpower him. That kind of man, the Stoic man, sees through her mask and still respects the woman behind it. And that disarms her more than anything else. Number 5. She fears rejection more than she admits. It may surprise you, but many women carry a deep fear of not being wanted, even the most attractive ones. You see, the average woman gets more attention than the average man. Likes, comments, messages, she's swimming in it. But deep down, she still fears true rejection. Why? Because the attention is surface level. It's constant but meaningless. And when a man she truly desires doesn't chase her, or worse, walks away, that hits her ego in a way she rarely experiences. Most men crumble at the fear of rejection, but Stoic men understand that being able to walk away is power. Seneca said, "He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive." And in modern dating, that translates to this: he who fears rejection will never act like a man worthy of being desired. You must understand this dynamic. If she pulls away, don't panic. If she tests your interest, don't beg. If she wants you, let her show it. Be kind, but indifferent. Be warm, but not available 24/7. Be responsive, but not reactive. When she senses you're not afraid to lose her, not in a cold way, but in a centered way, she feels something rare. Respect mixed with attraction. You become a mystery in a world full of predictable men, and she starts wondering, why isn't he chasing? Why doesn't he fold like the others? That curiosity alone can pull her closer than any compliment ever could. This is not about being rude. It's about standing in your value, silently, confidently, stoically. So, when you feel the urge to beg, explain, prove, stop, breathe. Let silence do what your words cannot. Number 6. She's drawn to leadership, not control. There's a common misunderstanding among men that to lead a woman means to control her. But control is based in fear. Leadership is based in strength. Women resist control. They'll push back, rebel, sabotage, and lose attraction when they feel owned. But when they feel led, with calm, certainty, and purpose, they naturally soften and follow. Here's the difference. Control demands. Leadership inspires. Control says, do what I say. Leadership says, follow me. I know where I'm going. A woman wants to feel safe, but safety isn't just physical, it's emotional leadership. She wants a man who doesn't need to bark orders or beg for her loyalty. She wants a man who walks with conviction and invites her into that path. This is where Stoicism becomes your greatest weapon. A Stoic man doesn't chase chaos. He creates structure. He doesn't scream when things go wrong. He adjusts and moves forward. Women feel this, and they trust it, especially in a world where many men are emotionally erratic, addicted to validation, or afraid to take the lead. You don't need to lead with money, muscles, or manipulation. You need to lead with inner discipline, emotional control, and a clear direction in life. That's why Marcus Aurelius didn't just talk philosophy. He embodied it during war, family loss, and empire crisis. He led by example, and the men and women around him followed. So when she's confused, you stay calm. When she's emotional, you stay firm. When she's unsure, you provide clarity, not chaos. This doesn't mean you carry her emotions or fix her life. It means you become the lighthouse, and she naturally steers toward your light. Women may not always say it, but they crave this kind of presence because it gives them permission to stop performing and start trusting. When you lead with silence, clarity, and purpose, you become unforgettable. Let's pause and reflect. This video wasn't about manipulating women. It wasn't about judging them either. It was about one thing: mastering yourself so you can move through the world with clarity, peace, and power. The 6 weaknesses we explored are not reasons to blame women. They're mirrors. Each one reveals where you must be strong, still, and stoic. She seeks chaos. You remain calm. She wants attention. You give it with presence, not need. She speaks in emotion. You listen beyond the words. She acts powerful. You see her softness beneath. She fears rejection. You hold your value. She resists control. You lead with quiet confidence. When you embrace this mindset, you become rare. You become the man who doesn't bend with the world's noise. You become the unmoved mover, the calm within the storm. And let's be honest, in a time where masculinity is often attacked or misunderstood, the Stoic path is more important than ever. This isn't about pretending to be emotionless. It's about learning to feel deeply without being ruled by those feelings. It's about knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to walk away and when to stay with strength. Remember, you don't fix her, you don't chase her, you don't try to become the man she wants. You become the man you respect, and she either aligns with that or fades away. Your power is not in making her obey. Your power is in making her respect your energy so much she chooses to follow. So, from this day forward, train your mind, sharpen your presence, and remember what the Stoics knew: the world will always be chaotic, but the man who controls himself will always win. If this video gave you power, wisdom, or even one moment of clarity, like it. Comment your favorite insight or affirmation. Share this with a man who needs to wake up, and subscribe to join a movement of strong, silent warriors living the Stoic life with intention and purpose. Until next time, walk steady, stay calm, and never forget, your silence is power.